Good evening, everybody, and welcome to King Dolphin Television. I am Raymond. I am author of the Dolphin Wars trilogy of books and ruler of the greatest, most fantastic pod on YouTube. Welcome, one and all, to episode 389. 11 episodes going till number 400. This is the this is going to be our usual Fantastic Four reviews, and coincidentally it's timed to coincide by with the opening weekend of Fantastic Four First Steps. I didn't plan that. It just happened coincidentally. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. And I decided to celebrate this by setting up a poll. So, okay. Where is it? All right, let's do this again. All right, start a poll. Hold on. Let's see. First one. I'm setting up a poll. It wouldn't set up right away. Okay, so here is the poll for this evening. Oh, okay, it won't take 3. Hold on. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, this is. It won't let me. There it goes. Okay. Here's the poll. 3 simple questions. Do you plan on seeing First Steps? Absolutely. I haven't decided, or I would rather be eaten by Galactus. So, but before we get started, please, if you like what we're doing here, if you love Just Cuz, these reviews, the interviews, I've got a lot of good ones coming up. Please, let's beat the YouTube algorithm and give me a like, give me a subscribe, and make some comments and hit the notification thing. Let's beat up on this algorithm. And if you want to help out the channel, keep the lights on going here, please consider doing a super chat as FKHC says, give Snorty and Trike money so Raymond can make a better Fantastic Four movie. Pay in super chats, super stickers, and a tip link here. And let's see. Okay. FKHC sent me something, so let me do that. Let's see. And here's the tip stream. Thank you, Snort. There's the tip stream to do via PayPal. So super stickers, super chats, or the tip stream will help go a long way to help out the channel. And liking, subscribed, and make comments. All right, what's he got? Yeah, let's see. All right, let's see. Oh, I like that. I like that. Here's what FKHC sent. Let's see. Okay. Tim. What am I going to do with you? That's polls are not for pole dancing. Please find alternative ways to disappoint your father. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. And also, Tim sent something else, and please, I am definitely a liker of Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace, Ozman. Here is a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne from Tim, FKHC 5, 2005. Oh, what's this? I'm not a pole dancer. Those come from Poland. And Snort says, polls aren't. The polls are for answering. Okay, so before we get started, this is gonna be a fun one. We're not gonna do the normal. We're not gonna do the normal way of doing the Fantastic Four interviews. We're going to instead of going over the ads, we're going to interject some Fantastic Four trivia. I found a site where we can do some Fantastic Four trivia. It's going to be fun. And I've got my It's Clobbering Time shirt given to me by a fan. And I got my Clobbering Time. I got my Thing socks on too. So I'm ready for this episode.
Show your socks.
Do I have to?
Your fans.
What?
Your fans want to see.
Okay. What? No one's there saying they want to see them, but okay. Jeez. See? Thing socks. There. Oh yes, and as usual, Clobbering Times is always missed when I do this show. All right, so okay, let me start introducing everybody, and then we'll get started. Okay, I'm set. Okay, so we have right now, making sure I've scrolled down. Smart Alex. All right. We got the great Swift -1. How you doing, pal? Boy, everybody's a critic. My screen is melting. I could smell those socks through the internet. Howdy, har, har. Smell my feet, chat. Jeez. Okay. All right. Hello, Swift -1. And then let's go to my awesome lifeguard corps. We've got our producer, the amazing, the wonderful Sandra, King Dolphin TV in color, stereo where available, HD if you want to really pay a lot. A Sandra Feliciano production. We got Trike, who's been feisty all afternoon, so he may give his inputs this evening. We've got the fantabulous FKHC 2005. We got the awesome Legatus Legion Eye. Oh, Agent Pepsi 1's here. Yay. Agent Pepsi 1. Agent Pepsi 1. We've given her a number and taken away her name. All right, so Agent Pepsi 1, FKHC 2005, Legatus Legion I, and the one, the only, the biggest, baddest bear on the internet, Snorter Poopas, Q bar, dot screen, hashtag clobbering times. Oh, and there's the dolphin in the background. What do you think, Snort? Sorry about that, Agent Pepsi 1. Sorry about that. What do you think? What do you think, Snort? Mini Snort wanted me to do something for tonight's show. So there it is. And I actually tried to make the dolphin torch. The dolphin torch. All right. So there he is. Actually, this is a better looking one than the one I had last time. That one was cringe. This one at least looks like a proper Snorter Poopus thing. Okay, so here we go. Oh yeah, and put an APB for AP1. To show our own Agent Pepsi 1 that we care for her and we're sorry that she's got to go back to school. All right. Okay. Yes, Trike, I hear you. Okay. Agent Pepsi 1 says, not the biggest fan, but I was very surprised at how well he looked and sounded at his concert. Okay. All right. Okay. So, time to go through and do the reviews. And again, like I said, I'm not going to be doing the ads like I usually do, but we'll do Fantastic Four trivia. All right. And the issues that you're going to see tonight, episode 26 and 27, come from 44 years of the Fantastic Four, an entire DVD anthology of all their issues. And I love this cover. I love this back cover. George Perez special, rest in peace. All right. So let us get going. Okay. Here we go. All right. So last week, or last time, we had the first Thing versus Hulk battle, and it went, of course, to a cliffhanger. So this issue 26 continues the battle. What? Oh, wait, this isn't the Pedro film? The true canon of Fantastic Four? The the film that should have had STD's Plank in the title role to make it even better? Raymond, I am surprised at you. Yeah, you got me, Agent Pepsi One. You got me. All right. Okay, so let's get started. All right. Issue 26. The great conclusion of the epic battle between the Thing and the Hulk. The Avengers take over. Featuring a galaxy of the world's most thrilling guest stars. All right. Last issue on a mad rampage. The Incredible Hulk ran amok in New York, hoping to find the Avengers to destroy them for turning against him. Only the fabulous Fantastic Four stand between the Hulk and utter carnage. But one by one, the Fantastic Four find themselves out of action because Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, becomes dangerously ill due to a near fatal virus attack and is unable to use his powers. Sue Storm, the Invisible Girl, finds her invisible energy weapon far too weak to cope with the Hulk. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, is hospitalized due to injuries he received when he fearlessly attacked the Hulk alone. So only the Thing remains to carry on the fight. So here we go. So Hulk starts out by driving the Thing into the pavement, but the Thing does not give up. So he crushes the rock into powder and throws it at him, blinding the Hulk. And Ben says, "I'm going to give you a boxing lesson. Don't go away. Pay attention to teacher." So he's over there. He's over there fighting. The National Guard is out there saying, "Good thing they're battling in a condemned neighborhood. They're saving the Wreckers a lot of work." They're thinking that the Thing must be fighting on sheer courage. Won't quit. And then a camera crew is watching the battle. And it's and the team goes, using the sudden surprise attack, the Thing gained a temporary advantage. But now the problem is, how long can that Valiant member how the Fantastic Four survived the Hulk's rampaging counterattack. And the other guy saying, why doesn't the rest of the Fantastic Four join the fight? And they're in the Baxter building. Reed's saying Ben has got to help him. He can't hold out much longer. Sue is saying you need medical help. And there's the crew, the med techs. And he is trying to get away from them. And they work to get him to an oxygen tent. He tried to Sue gave the doctor the formulas that he was working to try and get the thing back to normal. So he's going to analyze it. And in the other part of the hospital, the Torch is there under sedation after fighting the Hulk. So half the team is in stretchers. One member is battling the Hulk, and Sue is staying with Reed. And then Johnny decides he revives, and then he wakes up and flames on, and he heads on out. He rests and he goes on to help Ben. And he says, I'll help him if it kills me. So he attacks the Hulk. Ben is saying, Ixnay, Torchy, stay out of it. Nothing but muscle's going to beat this bum. And Hulk saying, don't you know how to quit? So Hulk rips open a fire extinguisher to blast the Torch, but Torch escapes and melts the building to see what happens. And the bricks fall, but the Hulk brushes it away and is still mad. He's saying, your flame will die out soon, and when it does, I'll finish you. Okay, Ben is saying, hey, you proved your point. We know you're not a 97-pound weakling, so why don't you calm down, and we'll talk this over. And Hulk is saying, you're trying to trick me like the Avengers, but when my guard is down, you'll attack, it won't work. So he takes two chunks of gravel, slams them together, and the concussion knocks the thing and the Torch into the air. And then the army decides they're going to get into the fight. And that's part one. All right. Okay, the first trivia question. The first trivia question is, who created the Fantastic Four? Was it Joe Simon and Jack Kirby, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, Joe Simon and Steve Ditko? FKHC says 42 is the answer. Their parents. Sandra's saying, he stepped on my foot today, and boy, that it hurt. Just saw the tricam he has used. Okay. I will read the question again. Who created the Fantastic Four? Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Joe Simon and Steve Ditko. Dun, 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 dun. I like that snort. Probably not Stan Lee, but he probably took credit for it. The answer, according to the question, is our favorite conspiracy theorist, Agent Pepsi One, says Fantastic Four creator CIA is a propaganda piece to scare the Soviets. All right. The answer is Kirby, Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby. And it is interesting that Kirby, before he came to Marvel, he did a on DC incomparable series on DC called Challengers of the Unknown. It was a character of it was four adventurers who went on adventures. I used to read that when I was a kid and completely forgot what they were all about, but he based the Kirby based the Fantastic Four on the Challengers of the Unknown. Okay. All right, we'll do one more question. What kind of rays caused the Fantastic Four? Yes, I was a kid. Yes, I was a kid. I was a young, wee little dolphin. What kind of rays caused the Fantastic Four to mutate? Beta rays, cosmic rays, alpha rays, or gamma rays? Okay. Manta rays. I like that one. Manta rays? Yes, it was cosmic rays. Ray Charles. All right. Okay. All right. We will now continue. All right. So they fire an artillery shell. He grabs it and throws it back to the road, up in the air, and it explodes. And Ben and Johnny are meeting up. Johnny is saying, "Don't worry about me," and Ben says, "Nope, it's up to me." And Ben says, "Never thought I'd ever come against anyone I couldn't polish off with one hand tied behind me. This business of being the idol of millions gets tougher all the time." I think this is the first time he mentions that he's the idol of millions. And now he's looking for the Hulk. And then there's there's a reporting crew. And they see this is your network mobile reporter, folks, broadcasting from the evacuated battle area. At this moment, the Hulk seems to have vanished. Wow, wait a minute. We see something. Up ahead. It's the thing. He seems to be stumbling around, searching for the Hulk. You got to hand it to him. Folks, he doesn't know the meaning of surrender. And they want to interview the thing, and Thing says, don't annoy get away from me. Ben is over there saying, maybe I'll weep and wail, but I got to find him. And then a train is in the subway, and it happens to see the Hulk. And the Hulk stops the train with his muscle and tells everybody to leave the train. And everybody leaves, and then he drives the freaking train. And he's just trying to find the Avengers. And for some reason, he remembers the where it's at. So he emerges. Editor's note: the Hulk remembers that the Avengers have been using millionaire Tony Stark's mansion as their meeting place, never suspecting that the wealthy playboy industrialist is really Iron Man. And then he runs into the Avengers. And Giant Man says, we return just in time. The reports are true. That will stop the Hulk. Iron Man doesn't say anything. Rick Jones says, give me a chance. Let me reason. And Thor says, we don't want to injure him. It's up to him. And then he goes after him. He goes toward Rick Jones. And Giant Man says, don't rush. The advantage is his at close quarters. Hulk is saying, you deserted me, turned against me when I need you. You left me for the Avengers. You won't get away with it. And so he bops Iron Man, grabs Rick Jones. Cap says he's like a steamroller, can't stop. And Thor says, we're too close to each other. We are eating each other's way. We need more room. And Hulk has Rick Jones and gets away. And Rick is saying, you don't know what you're doing. You've got it all wrong. The Wasp gets away from the debris and goes after the Hulk. Meanwhile, across the room and across town in a private room, the antidote is working and curing Reed. Sue is over there saying, if anything happened, I couldn't bear it. And the doctor's saying, you're mad, get rest. Reed says, there's a little matter of the Hulk running amok. I have to take a hand in. And so the Fantastic Four joins up. And then they Ben says, I knew you're too ornery for any germs to beat. And then they hear the Avengers are fighting the Hulk. They get into the Fantastic car and speed away. All right, so next. All right. Norta Pupa says, because he, let's see. Okay. When he's home, he ignores me completely unless I have food. Let's see. I like that. What Miller doesn't realize, people can look at seating charts and see his concert was selling worse than the Marvels movie. Okay. All right. Let's see. Talking track. All right. Tricus decided I'm his human. When I was gone a few days to teach, he just laid there waiting for me to return. Because he can look to your soul and get fed, yeah. Okay. Okay. The next trivia question. Which member of the Fantastic Four is a scientific genius? Ben Grimm, Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, or Reed Richards? Which member of the Fantastic Four is a scientific genius? Ah, come on, guys. Which member of the Fantastic Four is a scientific genius? Trikes. Snort says, woof, woof, woof. Agent Pepsi 1 says, none. None. Pedro gets all his data and guidance through an earpiece connected to the plank. I like that. I like that, Agent Pepsi 1. That's a good one. Snort says, I thought it was Fachi. Fachi Bear. All right. Last time. Which member of the Fantastic Four is a scientific genius? Ben Grimm, Susan Storm, Johnny Storm, Reed Richards. Then I guess you got to watch. Agent Pepsi 1 says, I have to admit, I don't know much about the Fantastic Four. Okay. And Snort, you're right. Reed Richards. But that's why you got to watch the movie on Saturday this weekend. Watch the movie. All right. Okay, next one. What is the name of the Fantastic Four's headquarters? The Bix. Unless we're talking about the evil genius, then it's bet for hire. Okay, what is the name of the Fantastic Four's headquarters? Is it the Bixby Building, the Bramford Building, the Baxter Building, or the Banner Building? Cool. Enjoy your trip to Biloxi. The answer to this question, the genius question, Reed Richards possesses a mastery of mechanical, aerospace, and electrical engineering, chemistry, all levels of physics, and human and alien biology. Businessweek listed him as one of the top 10 most intelligent fictional characters in American comics. You know, one of my coworkers, we had a thing asking about he started out the three most intelligent in the DC universe. And I came up with Bruce Wayne, Lex Luthor, and the Chat GPT said Mr. Terrific, whoever that was. So obviously it is Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and maybe Doom, maybe not. But just ask Dr. Doom and he'll say it's him. Dinner at the steakhouse at the Hard Rock, then video poker. Oh, nice. All right. The name of the Fantastic Four's headquarters is the Baxter Building. It's the Baxter Building. All right. Okay, next phase. Okay, so the Fantastic car is on its way. And Rick Jones is trapped, but the Hulk is in pain. And the Wasp is buzzing around in his ear. And he's trying to get this buzzing thing out of the ear. And the Wasp flies out. But then Cap hits the Hulk, saying, "You should have known you couldn't escape the Avengers." And Cap avoids the Hulk's punch and avoids it yet again. And then the torch comes. And Cap is saying the Avengers can handle this. And then Mr. Fantastic tries a lasso, but then Iron Man gets caught by Reed's lasso. And Iron Man saying, Reed says, "Look out, you should have kept your arm down." Iron Man says, "I told you to stay out of this. The Hulk is the Avengers' problem." And Hulk is saying, "There's too many of them. They'll keep getting in each other's way. I'll whittle them down." So Sue is going to use her invisible force field. But then Giant Man got in the way and is trapped by the force field. And Hulk is ready to leap with Rick, and Thor is coming with his hammer, and the Hulk says, "There's Thor with the one thing I fear, that unbeatable hammer of his. I got to move now." And the Thing is trying to save Rick Jones, but gets in the way of the hammer. And is hurled out of the way by the hammer. And Thing is saying, "You landed long-haired lummox. Why don't you learn how to throw that thing?" And Thor is trying to calm him down. And the Hulk is leaping onto a skyscraper. What will happen now? Okay. Okay. Agent Pepsi One says, "Did all the boys in the '60s look like the guy in the advertisement? Oh my God, I'm going to time warp myself now for sure." And Snort says, "Nah, they all had long, greasy hair, didn't bathe, and smell like pot." Okay. In that case, ew, no thank you. Just ask him to answer if Napoleon was a French general and emperor or the guy on the Man from Uncle TV show. Okay. Oh, Fantastic. Oh, hello, Fancy. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Good to see you back. Okay. All right. Eaten by Galactus? I'd rather be passed through Snortopoopa's Q-Bird colon than see Fartastic farce. Ooh, that's a that's a harsh statement. Let's see how the poll's doing. Let's see. Where's the poll? Okay. Where's the poll? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys are, wow. Ouch. Everybody has answered, I would rather be eaten by Galactus. Well, I'm glad. Put a PO out there. Show Fanty that we love him. All right. So, next one. Next two questions. All right. What is the Thing's catchphrase? And I'm going to have to hide my shirt so you don't see it. But everybody knows it anyway. What is the Thing's catchphrase? Is it? Is it? It's clobbering time? I pity a fool. Thing smash. Oh my stars and garters. So which one is it? So yep, it's clobbering times. It's clobbering time. Okay, next one. What villain did the team face in the very first issue of the Fantastic Four? Was it? Yes. CT, clobbering time. Sandra says, it's cool. I would love to have had a teacher like you. It's more interesting than memorizing dates and places. Oh, what's even better is if his classroom, if the classroom is a literal museum. My history teacher and homeroom teacher had a museum as a classroom. All sorts of historic artifacts. It was so cool. He even he even had strategy games. The thing doesn't have a catchphrase because he says, as my sweet old Aunt Petunia used to say, it's clobbering time. So it's clobbering time is technically Aunt Petunia's. Yeah. So what villain did the team face in the very first issue of the Fantastic Four? It was the Mole Man. It was the Mole Man. Okay. And actually, if you read the Byrne issues, the Byrne sagas, uh, Aunt Petunia was a hottie. She was a brunette. Oh man, she was a hottie. All right. Okay, and to the last part of this epic struggle between Titans. Okay, so Hulk takes him to a skyscraper. And the Avengers and the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are pretty much arguing with each other. Reed says Iron Man shouldn't have gotten away. And Iron Man's irritated because Reed gives orders. Giant Man is offended that a girl stopped him with invisible energy. And Johnny's saying, yeah, we screwed up. And Ben just says, is that get up real? And Reed says, we've heard of the Avengers. We have a great respect. We started this battle and would like to finish it ourselves. And Iron Man says, the Hulk used to be one of us. He's our responsibility. We can handle him the best. Thor is the pragmatist, saying the first problem is find him again, and then we can work together. Ben is saying, yeah, for a guy with long hair, you're A-okay. You even got muscles in your voice. And Reed is saying, if Ben is willing to join, we can do it. And then Iron Man is contacting the police, and they say he's on a construction site. And the police is saying, join with the Fantastic Four. And they said, we're attacking. Okay. Hulk is over there saying, I trusted you. You know my secrets, but you teamed up with Cap. Rick Jones is saying it's wrong. He's wrong. And the torch melts the girder where the Hulk was standing. Rick Jones is saying, stay back. And Hulk throws metal at the torch. Okay. So Iron Man said, Iron Man's being stubborn. He doesn't want any help. So he blasts the torch. He blasts the torch away with a repulsor ray. And Johnny's saying he wants the credit to go to the Avengers. Well, that's Stark. He is arrogant. Okay. Ben Ben uses Reed as a trampoline to catch Johnny, and lets him down. Reed gets the Reed still is feeling the effects of the virus, and Johnny's saying, "Let's see how he does without our help." Notice Johnny doesn't have his sling anymore. Wonder what's up with that. And so Iron Man is up against the torch, and he tangles Iron Man with the girders, and he's going to try and pry himself loose. And Thor uses his hammer and frees Iron Man. And then the Thing comes in. So he's getting ready to take on the Hulk again. And they start fighting. They wreck a girder, and they fall. And the thing ends up in cement. And it's starting to harden. And Hulk is ready to knock the Thing out of the cement. And then Cap throws a wrecking ball at the Hulk. All right, so the next questions. Okay. Let's see. I just have to contain my distaste for teenagers. If they didn't clean my whiteboard, it still says, written by a student, Mrs. Bell has no patience whatsoever. And welcome back, FKHC. Okay, you're going to be lurking. You're going to be lurking. Just take it easy, Agent Pepsi One. Okay. All right. Enjoy your chores. Okay, the next trivia question. What did Reed and Sue name their first child? What did Reed and Sue name their first child? Was it Johnny? Was it Franklin? Was it Valeria? Or was it Nathan? Johnny, Franklin, Valeria, or Nathan? Okay. Yes, Sandra got it. It's Franklin. Okay. Okay. Which Fantastic Four villain consumes whole planets? Which Fantastic Four villain consumes whole planets? And no, Snort, it's not you. You're not a villain. I could see Trike consuming a planet. And just demonetized for humming the Jeopardy thing. Hi, Raquel, SSG 2211. How you doing? All right. Lizzo. That's a good one. Go ahead, Raquel. Is it Terax? Is it Drax the Destroyer? Or is it Annihilus? Or isn't someone I haven't answered yet? Who is it? Mogo the Mogo the Eating Planet. Or is it Galactus? Mogo the Eating Planet. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, somebody actually said they haven't decided. So the number went down to I would rather be eaten by Galactus still is number 1. I haven't decided is number 2. All right. Galactus does not consume the planet. He pulls the life energy off the world. As after Surfer turned, he went to Zanla and drained it of all its life energy, but there are survivors. And Raquel says, yeah, just kidding. It's Galactus. All right. Okay. And now it's the conclusion of this issue. Okay, so Cap is tossing a wrecking ball at the Hulk. And it misses the Hulk. And he's saying, "You've tried to get Rick away from me, you'll pay." And Cap avoids the Hulk's blow. And Cap uses judo on the Hulk. As a matter of fact, any ex-army combat man knows that if he applies judo, the stronger his enemy is, the more it helps the underdog. Besides, because using muscular leverage, the skilled fighter can turn the force of his energy against him. And the Hulk tosses his shield, and it gets caught by a hook in a cable, and Hulk stomps aboard, tossing Cap. Okay. And then Cap is holding on to a girder, and then Giant Man grabs the Hulk. And then the Hulk tosses Giant Man, saying, "As long as I have my strength, I can defeat anybody, and I can smash anything that lives." And he's getting ready to charge at Giant Man. Giant Man takes the shrinking pill and shrinks, and then gets behind him, grows back to now he's playing grow and shrink, grow and shrink. And but the problem is the Hulk continues to get larger or stronger. And the Wasp comes with ants. And Giant Man saying, "Get out of the way. Hulk is too dangerous." And Wasp says, "Anyone else would have given me a little thank you kiss." Oh. And the ants attack the Hulk. So then Rick decides he's going to turn Hulk into Bruce Banner. He gives him a capsule treated with gamma rays, and it starts changing. He plunges into the water and emerges as Bruce Banner and floats away. Okay, and then Giant Man says, "You're safe for the present." And Rick says, "The Hulk wouldn't have hurt me." And he says, "I can't help but feel sorry for the Hulk. It's a tragic thing to lose a partner. Perhaps I can realize what a loss can be." And Thing remembers Bucky. And Reed is saying, "Too bad the Hulk can't understand we're not the enemies. We just want to save him from himself." And Reed says, if he shows up, the Fantastic Four will help the Avengers. And Thor says, "I pray the Avengers can make a record as unsullied as that as the Fantastic Four." And Sue says, "Glad none of us were injured." Ben said, "Only my pride." And Johnny says, "After tangling with the Hulk, I suddenly realized how cute and lovable you really are." And that is the end of issue 26. All right. All right, let's see. If this is on the flight I take to France next year, I'll walk out. Galactus is the devourer of worlds, but he doesn't physically eat them, unlike Mark D with the C's doomsday machines. And now, the exciting conclusion to this issue. He's tossing Miley Cyrus at it. See Wrecking Ball. Ego, the living planet, could be an eating planet, possibly. True, SSG. Tsurekill. Star Trek, the Doomsday Machine, is a true planet eater. Yeah. Yep. All right. We're going to ask one more trivia question. And I'm going to ask one more trivia question, and then we will move on to the next issue. Ben Grimm's girlfriend is blind, mute, paraplegic, or deaf? Ben Grimm's girlfriend is blind, mute, paraplegic, or deaf? Yep, Sandra and Raquel got it. She is blind. I like that. A girl. That's a good one, FKHC. All right, now time for the next one. Immune to being crushed by a rock. Yeah, good one. All right. All right. Episode or issue 27. The Fantastic Four, the world's greatest comic magazine, with special guest star, the sensational Doctor Strange. And it's titled The Search for the Submariner. Uh-oh. Reed's not looking happy. Okay. The, the fabulous Fantastic Four dare to undertake the search for the Submariner. Presented by the most talked about team in comics, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, author and illustrator extraordinaire. Inked by Geo Bell and lettered by S. Rosen. All right. Let it never be said that the Merry Marvel Group is willing to rest on its laurels. After bringing you the breathtaking Hulk versus Thing battle in the previous two, we follow up with an equally sensational tale. So, without further ado, let's visit the world-famous lab of Mr. Fantastic as he's experimenting with his new thought projector helmet. Sue in a bathing suit. Woohoo! And Sue's saying, "That's me." Johnny says, "We can see what he's thinking of." What do you know? So his brain ain't just a mess of test tubes and 6-syllable words. Yeah, I think he's gone. Yeah. Yep. Sue in a bathing suit. Johnny is saying he wants to try it. Reed says, "I'm trying to develop it to aid as crime fighting." And Sue's saying, "I would appreciate it if you wouldn't expose your thoughts of me for everyone to gape at." And then Ben wants to try it. He wants to try it in the interest of science. Okay, Reed is over there saying, "Here, try it." And he says something like Dr. Doom might have dreamed after eating stale pizzas. And then Reed says, "I should have warned you. Don't think of any menaces like Doom. The projector will magnify the realism and shock you." And Ben jumps. He almost smashes the helmet, and he turns into a pillow. And Reed says, "Benjamin, why don't you take up a hobby, something that'll keep you out of here while I'm working? You and your nutty inventions probably rigged the whole thing to mortify me." And Sue's upset that she doesn't want her thoughts reviewed. And Ben says, the trouble with you, Reed, is you don't understand females. That chick is nuts about you, but she ain't gonna wait forever to pop the question. And Reed is getting ready to get a ring. And he's gonna get the ring, and Johnny says, "She's been waiting for it for the past 2 years." And then we go underwater. And Namor is irritated because his people left. He has a few warriors, and he wants Sue, the surface girl I love at my side. Nothing else would matter. And so, if Sue Storm was my princess, I would find my people, restore Atlantis, and make the reign of Prince Namor the most glorious in the history of Atlantis. So now he uses an undersea scanner to to peep on her. So he's an underwater peeping Tom. Nothing cringy about that. Let's see. He is telling his people that he's going to get Sue Storm. And his people decide to evacuate Atlantis, saying, how can we be loyal to a monarch who would betray his heritage? And so he's going to go after Sue. And Ben is doing something. Oh, Ben is doing some bodybuilding, and a stranger uses the key and says, because my electron gun serves me better, you thick-skinned oaf. And Ben realizes, oh, it's Namor, and knocks him down. And then he uses sleep gas to knock him out. And then Johnny tries to use fireballs on it, which don't affect him because he has enough moisture. And then he uses a vacuum pellet to knock out his flame. And then Sue shows up, and Namor, she says, Namor, you mad? What have you done? If you've injured Johnny, Susan, don't concern yourself, my beloved. I have injured no one. My objective was to find you. And Johnny's irritated that Namor wants Sue. And Namor says, only the fact you're the brother of the one I love has kept me from making you pay the price. And he's kidnapping Sue. You know how I feel about you, Susan. For you, I've given up my birthright. I've lost an empire, but yet it'll be worth it. And Sue says, you don't have the right. Have you forgotten about Reed Richards? And he's saying that Reed will stand between them no longer. And Sue's saying, forget me, leave before Reed finds you. And Namor says, I shall not leave without you. Richard has years to court you, to make you love him. All I ask is 24 hours and I'll have it. And he knocks her out with sleep gas. And they escape. And escapes. And then Johnny comes on, or Reed comes in with a box saying, call your gorgeous sister, I've got a little present. And Johnny Reed shows the ring, and Reed is up after they tell him that it was the Submariner, and he's angry at them for letting him do it. And now let's go to the next question. Who has the combined powers of the Fantastic Four? Is it the Super Skrull, King the Conqueror, Annihilus, or the Impossible Man? The stepdaughter of the puppet master, the blind sculptress. Don't let Daredevil hear you say blind people are handicapped. He tends not to like it, and no one knows why. Stan who? This was pre-Star Trek, otherwise it would have been titled In Search of the Submariner, hosted by Nimoy, and the search led by Jacques Cousteau. The following issue, the following issue would be sponsored by Mutual of Omaha and feature Jim and Marlon Perkins as they search for that Snorter Pooper's Cuber. Who snuffles? The Atlanteans are all liars. They were never really loyal to Namor. Only Lady Dorma and Division were ever truly loyal. At one point, the Atlanteans had a base near the North Pole, but because they're a bunch of traitors, they tasted like bluefin tuna, and they quickly abandoned that base. Hey, Dan Man! How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Dad Man? Say hi to the missus. All right. Okay. Who has the combined power of the Fantastic Four? And the answer is well, Phantom did get it. Yeah, I got it. I got the answer, and you're on the calendar. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Okay. Impossible Man has all the powers he wants, and Super Skrull has all the powers, all their powers, plus his shape shifting, the super adaptoid, stated from scratch, and only meant the FF, then he's got all their powers. Well, the answer is the Super Skrull. All right, so it was the Super Skrull. All right. All right, next one. So now Reed is pissed. And he's out to he's saying, I gotta find him. I'll make him pay for this. You hear me? He'll pay with his life. He's looking like he's out for blood. And Reed and Johnny are trying to hold him back. Johnny tries to say, we got to work as a team. Johnny's trying to calm him down. He's saying, like old, but Aunt Petunia said it's shamefully undignified. Reed is saying, I'll say this once and only sentence. I'm going after Namor myself. I want you to keep out of it. He's mine. He's stolen the one thing I love most in the world. Nothing will save him now. And Reed has, Sue has never, they've never heard him talk like that. And he's searching. He's searching for him, and he's looking for revenge. And Johnny's saying, if any of those wise guys who claim Reed doesn't think while we do the fighting could see him now. And Ben is saying they've got to go after the Submariner. So Johnny goes to get signal for Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange sees the message from the torch and he leaves his body and goes in his astral form. And a helicopter is leaving the building. And he uses his amulet and sees Reed and looks for the torch. And then he shows up. Ben is asking, "What's your price?" He says it's not for sale. Johnny says, we got to find a submariner before Reed does. It's a matter of life or death." And Reed is saying, Strange is saying, "I only combat evil." And Johnny says, "Captured my sister, and he'll try to kill Reed if we don't stop him." Doctor Strange goes and finds he looks and he finds Namor's palace. Sue's over there. "Let me out. You think you can make me confess by imprisoning me?" And Namor's trying to convince her. And I've never had a chance to plead my cause with you, never had a chance to date you, to be with you the way Richards had. All I ask is 24 hours. And Sue says, "Reed will find you, and when he does, nothing will save you." And Namor is asking, "Am I never to know? Is it Reed or is it Namor?" And then he goes. Doctor Strange sees Reed and with a pill that will give him oxygen for an hour. After that, he decides he better get the torch and the thing. Reed gets into the headquarters, and then he goes into the throne room. And then he strikes first, making a bola and traps the submariner. And he says, "You're going to cheat me out of the 24 hours I wanted." And now they get into a fight. He's going to kill Reed. Next question. How can the Super Skrull shapeshift? No one in the FF can do that. He has all the powers plus. Yeah. Wait, did Reed just call Sue the one thing in the world? Isn't it really hurtful to Ben? I don't know what you mean. All right, the question is, which character served as a replacement for the Invisible Woman during her pregnancy with Franklin? Was it Crystal? Was it She-Hulk? Was it Ms. Marvel? Or was it Namorita? Who was the replacement for the Invisible Woman during her pregnancy with Franklin? All right. Okay. The answer is Crystal. The answer is Crystal. All right. And now we see the battle. And there they go. He's tied. He's tied up Reed, and he uses. He turns his body into sharp objects to tackle Reed, and Reed is over there. Reed is saying, though your strength is many times greater than mine, you haven't the brain power to use it correctly. Ooh, that's insulting. I'll whittle it down to nothing. And Submariner says, you're not going to beat me in my domain. And Reed says, when you captured Sue, you went too far. And Reed is saying, your savagery is wasted on someone who can easily dodge your blows. And Reed is trying to lure him to the surface. And now he's got allies. And Reed he's so angry he's going to smash the whole empire. And back at the headquarters, Strange comes back and says he found him. But he's telling Ben and Johnny to go to the scene. And then he uses his spells to teleport them. And Ben is saying, hey, what's going on? How do we know he's not Dr. Doom in disguise? And they disappear and end up in the palace. And then he sees his troops. They see his troops attack Reed. And then Ben and Johnny start attacking. And Johnny's melting their weapons, and Ben's saying, don't leave me out. Okay. He said, Namor took the one thing in the world he loved. It's bad enough he called Sue a thing, but Ben's standing right there. Ah. If Reed had been thinking clearly, he would have said, I'm going to destroy Atlantis with my corporate allies, Mrs. Pauls and Arthur Treachers. Okay. And Pop Culture Breaker is live. Okay. All right. I shouldn't ask this question because the answer's already given in this episode. But I will. Which character, along with Sue and Reed, formed the Marvel Universe's first love triangle? Was it Silver Surfer? Was it Black Panther? Was it Dr. Doom? Or was it Namor? I think we've answered that just by this issue. What a coinky dink on this one. It was Namor. All right. So back we go. So they're fighting. They've scared off the troops. Reed wanted to finish the job. And Reed is over there still making threats. Stay back. I'm going to ram those mocking words down his throat. I'm going to make him wish he never heard of the human race. He's my pigeon. Oh, Reed is pissed. So the cold, calm, intellectual Mr. Fantastic can explode in a fit of rage, just like anyone else. Perhaps you can understand my feelings when I lost my kingdom, my people, everything because of you accused humans. And now Reed is exhausted and he's getting ready to punch him. And Reed tangles him up, saying, "You're not the only one who can move quickly. You need it, and a man doesn't need royal blood in order to fight for the death for what he believes in." And he's saying, "I'll be the first to. I'll see that Namor the first becomes Namor the last." So Reed's out for blood. And Johnny finds Sue, who unfortunately he can't use her force field doesn't quite work. And Johnny's saying Reed is mad as a tiger, and someone is letting the sea into the building. And Sue's saying we'll be drowned, but Reed says don't panic, or Johnny says don't panic. And she holds back the water, and repairs the hole. They go chasing after Reed and Ben, but there's a camera checking on them, and Johnny melts down to find her. And Sue is saying, "Pray no harm goes to Reed or to Namor." And Johnny's irritated. "It beats me how you can mention that fish head in the same breath as Reed. He's the one that caused it." And there's the fight going on. Thing is using the guys as juggling balls, and Reed is tangling up Namor, but Namor uses judo to knock out Reed, and he says no human can match his mortal power against Namor. And then Ben gets ready to take on Namor, and Ben gets stunned. Get stunned, but even though they're using a concentrated barrage, Ben absorbs the energy and keeps going after them. And Namor is going after Ben, but Reed comes back and continues his fighting. He said, "What breed of man are you that shall not surrender to a stronger enemy?" And Reed says, "The same breed as any man who will fight to the death for his girl he loves. She'll never be yours, Namor, but what if I'm the one she chooses?" All right. All right. We'll wait till the next one because it looks like they went really quick into an ad and now. Okay, so they're still fighting. Namor says, "No, it's a pity we're more enemies, Richard. Together we would be inconquerable, but that can never be. I'll allow no human to thwart me again." Reed is holding on to Namor. He is doing a good job of taking him on. And he hits he tries to keep him from bobbing and weaving, and he turned himself to a crossbow and shot Namor against Namor's followers, knocking them out. Okay. This is probably going to be the last trivia question. Who did the Richards hire as a nanny for Franklin? Was it Ileana Rasputin, Rachel Roth, wrong universe, Agatha Harkness, Wanda Maximoff? For the last question. Let's see. There are 3 things that scare Atlanteans: tartar sauce, cocktail sauce, and Snorter Pooper's Cuber. Yeah. Especially this way. Well, I'll show you later. Squirrel Girl and Phantom Outsider says, it was Agatha all along. Yep. Okay. All right. And now we're to the exciting conclusion. Ha, Fran Drescher. I like that one. That's a good one, Snort. All right. And we're on the last run. And Reed helps Ben get out of it. And Reed is still out to take out Namor, and Namor is trying to dispose of them because they get stronger, and now he pulls out a blast gun, saying even the Thing can't stop this. He says he offers the FF a chance to surrender. And Reed says, surrender rubs me the wrong way. Ben is saying, you just spoke for me. And then the ray blasts and nothing happens to Ben. And Namor tries to hit Reed and nothing. He can't reach Reed. And Sue used her force field to protect Reed and Ben. Reed is Namor says, Richards is lucky that you still felt enough loyalty to interfere with my vengeance. And Sue comes and breaks his heart by saying, not loyalty, my feeling is love. Namor says, you can't love him. I've claimed you myself. You must be mine. And Sue says, an Imperial command can't affect a girl's heart. I'm sorry, Namor. Sorry if you misunderstood the sympathy I felt for you. Yes, even the affection I felt. Sorry if you thought it was love, but I realized Reed is the only man for me. Nothing can change that. Oh, look at Namor's face on that one. Well, he asked for it. Okay. Doctor Strange is seeing the rage, and then so he fades them away, and they are heading for home. And the submarine is heading up. And Reed is saying, "What you said back in Namor's palace?" Sue says, "I'm shaking." And Ben is thinking, "You didn't say that to prevent any more fighting." And Reed is saying, "Don't answer that. I'd rather not know your answer." And Sue's saying, it is you I love. But how can I ever convince you? You always suspect I may have been trying to protect your Namor. And thus, we don't know if he will give her the ring. And that is the end of issue 27. And there we go. That is the end of the issue 27. Okay. We'll do. Man, it's about 10 to. We're going to show notes now. Let's see. Namor turns both Ben and Sue. He called you the thing he loves. How do you feel about he called you a thing, Sue? Also, he doesn't like Ben. All right, let's see. We'll end the poll. The question was, do you plan on seeing first steps? Nobody put absolutely with it 0. 11% did I haven't decided, and 89% said I would rather be eaten by Galactus. Oh, you guys are harsh. You guys are harsh. All right. So I think it is time for hold on a second. Okay. All right. Thanks, Snort. Okay, let's go to show notes.
It's time for show notes. It's time for show notes. Yeah, with Mr. Raven and Sandra too. It's time for show notes. We're bringing it on. It's time for show notes. You've all been warned. It's time for show notes.
Okay, we're at show notes. And okay. Get a little more comments here. Slaughter Poopa says, take care of a human dolphin doggo, Dalek ferret eagle, hedgehog, and desert rain frog. TM, a wholly owned subsidiary of the DolphinWars.com. And here is the desert rain frog. There you go. The desert rain frog. Courtesy of Snortopoopas, Cuba. He's kind of cute for a frog. All right. Watch the receding hairline of Raymond in those clips. Yeah. And I will show myself to the pit for that and move over. That's kind of a cute little critter. All right. Okay. Show notes. We've got a full calendar coming up. A week from today, we will have the return of our cryptid friend, our cryptid seeker, Hannah Chapman. We have on the 6th, we've got Al Nickerson will come for an interview. On the 9th will be our theme show. We're going to have Rob Wright talk about his trip of Band for Brothers. So it'll be serious at first, then we'll go to the madness of just kids. On the 13th, we have Dadman Walking and the Mrs. Dadman. And we will have on the 20th, the Not Ready for Pod Time players on Radio King Dolphin TV doing the episode Wounded Warriors. Don't miss that one. Just cause we'll be on Saturdays. And that is show notes. Yes. Like, share, subscribe, and chat. Let's see. Legatus asks, what was the result of the poll? Well, 89% say they would rather be eaten by Galactus. 11% say 11% said I haven't decided. Nobody said absolutely. Yes, there is a show this Saturday, as usual. There is definitely a show this Saturday. And it will be a Just Cuz. And it will be crazy. Yes, it will be Just Cuz. Snort says, is there a show this Saturday? Just Cuz. Yep. And who knows what will happen there. So, that is the show for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. And you might as well mark me as one of the ones that I haven't decided yet. I am not to the point. Yep. 11% haven't decided if they want to get eaten by Galactus. I like that, Phantom. All right. So let me thank everybody who has shown up here. We had the Dadman Walking. We had Phantom Outsider. I'm glad you're back, Phantom. We had Raquel SSG 2211. We had Swift -1. And those are our guests. And now let's see. Now the amazing Lifeguard Corps. We had our producer, Sandra. Love you, baby. We had the dog, Trike, who actually was quite quiet this evening. He must be sleeping. We had Agent Pepsi 1 here. Please put an AP1 because I know she's not looking forward to next week. We had FKHC 2005. I did watch replays, but I was mainly up from late night until late morning, didn't sleep. Okay. They're great, amazing Legatus Legionnaire along with FKHC 2005. And we once again had the fantastic, fantabulous, even good, the baddest bear on the internet. It's not a poop bus, Cube Bar. Dot scream. Hashtag clobber. Oh, I like that. Hashtag clobber. So can't forget the snort. And we got hail to try. So, all right. So that is everybody. I'm glad you were all here. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Stay. I haven't decided yet. And if I do decide to go, it's not going to be first week. I don't do first weeks. They are so crowded. I predict that after seeing this fantastic farce, people will want Galactus to stomp on them rather than have that movie in their heads. Hey, it can't be worse than Fantastic. I didn't even last 5 minutes of that movie. I couldn't stand that movie. So, all right. Let's go to Pooper Smart. Yeah. So, all right. Guys, stay safe. Stay wonderful. Have a good rest of the week. See you on Saturday for Just Cuz. And remember, let's make some waves. I love you guys. You take care.